Okay, we're gonna read the Terabithia by Kristine Patterson. So we're gonna go to chapter 1. Jesse Oliver Aaron's dinner. Baroom, baroom, berapity. Good. His dad had the pickup going. He could get up now. Jess slid out of bed and into his overalls. He didn't worry about a shirt because once he began running, he would be as hot as popping grease, even if the morning air was chill. Or shoes because the bottoms of his feet were by now as tough as his worn-out sneakers. Where are you going, Jess? Maybelle lifted herself up sleepily from the double bed where she and Joyce Ann slept. Shh, he warned. The walls were thin. Mama would be mad as flies in a fruit jar if they woke her up this time of day. He patted Maybelle's hair and yanked the twisted sheet up to her small chin, just over the cow field. He whispered. Maybelle smiled and snuggled down under the sheet. Gonna run? Maybe. Of course he was going to run. He had gotten up early every day all summer to run. He figured if he worked at it, Lord, had he worked, he could be the fastest runner in the 5th grade when school opened up. He had to be the fastest, not one of the fastest or next to the fastest, but the fastest, the very best. He tiptoed out of the house. The place was so ratty that it screeched whenever you put your foot down. But Jess had found that if you tiptoed, it gave only a low moan. He could usually get outdoors without waking Mama or Ellie or Brenda or Joyce Ann. Mabel was another matter. She was going on 7, and she worshipped him, which is okay sometimes. When you were the only boy smashed between your 4 sisters and the older 2 had despised you, ever since you stopped letting them dress you up and wheel you around in their rusty old doll carriage and littlest one cried if you look at her cross-eyed. It was nice to have somebody who worshipped you, even if it got unhandy sometimes. He began to trot across the yard. His breath was coming out in little puffs, cold for August, but it was early yet. By noontime, his mom would have him out working. It would be hot enough. Miss Bessie stared at him and sleepily as he climbed across the scrap heap over the fence and into the cow field. Moo, she said, looking for all the world like another Mabel, with her big, brown, droopy eyes. Hey, Miss Bessie, Jessie said soothingly. Just go on back to sleep. Miss Bessie strolled over to a greenish patch. Most of the field was brown and dry, and young up a mouthful. That's a girl, just eat your breakfast, don't pay me no mind. He always started at the northwest corner of the field, crouched over like runners he had seen on the wide world of sports. Bang! He said, and took off flying around the cow field. Miss Bessie strolled toward the center, still following him with her droopy eyes, chewing slowly. She didn't look very smart, even for a cow, but she was plenty bright enough to get out of Jess's way. His straw-colored hair flapped hard against his forehead, and his arms and legs flew out every which way. He had never learned to run properly, but he was long-legged for a 10-year-old, and no one had more grit than he. Last Creek Elementary was short and everything, especially athletic equipment, so all the balls went to the upper grades. At recess time after lunch, even if a 5th grader started out the period with a ball, it was sure to be in the hands of a 6th or 7th grader before the hour was half over. The older boys always took the tri-center of the upper field for their ball games, while the girls claimed that small stop section for hopscotch and jump rope, hanging around talking. So the lower grade boys had started running, then they would all line up on the far side of the lower field where it was either muddy or deep crusty ruts. Earl Watson, who was no good at running but had a big mouth, who would yell bang. They raced their line and they towed across at the other end. One time last year, Jesse had won, but not just the first heat, but the whole shebang. Only once, but he had put into his mouth a taste for winning. Ever since he'd been in the 1st grade, he had been the crazy little kid